Hello everyone. The title of today's talk is Developing Kindness Through Understanding. So develop kindness through understanding. Now, when we talk about kindness, we must first see that how is the human being acknowledging the idea of kindness. And so you see, it's as if we are kind to certain people, and some people, gosh, we're ignorant enough to think that these beings are our enemies. Kindness is not just the kindness that you feel you should have when you see poverty ads, it's more than just helping someone once and feeling good and thinking you're a kind person. Kindness is about consciously throughout the day developing a tolerance and acceptance of the beauty that is in your world, and this beauty is both in its oddity. So what that means is strangeness and weird phenomena and things that are out of the norm should not be acknowledged as something off or out. It should be allowed to see what happens. That means if someone suddenly starts doing a weird dance in the street, don't stop the guy. Just let's see what he does. And you might be impressed by the random dance moves he does, When we have a tolerance to life, we stop thinking about kindness. We see kindness should be a direct experience. What that means is we must feel good always. Kindness should be a state of being, and it is. Kindness is a different state of being. That means you're not trying to be kind because you are it. You have no thoughts about it, you're doing it. Do you have thoughts about walking right now? You don't. So similarly, kindness should be just like that. Whenever you see other beings, you should feel as if you can be very kind, right? And when man begins to experience existential kindness, there is a sense of deep compassion. What that means is this compassion, guys, is different than the compassion that you feel maybe like the Dalai Lama is providing for you. Even though the Dalai Lama is very aware of the depths of compassion. You see, it's there's a type of compassion where you don't just love your loved one, you love every form of manifestation that is present to you. And because you love it, it's as if there is an existential allowance to be in a greater communication with your world. So it's as if every moment you open your eyes, your expression, your existence is communicating something to this world. It's as if you see, wait a minute, it's not just me. The whole thing is communicating. Your whole moment of being is a profound communication of your experience of this existence. Now, this is all leading back again to self-awareness. And so before, guys, we get into the good stuff, you need to recognize that kindness should not be something where you at first judge a kind act based on something you're doing for another person. Kindness should come to self. So you must see how kind are you to yourself. And that's when you see how much turbulence you're in. Some people, they act kind in front of a stranger, in front of their friends, to someone, but suddenly they are so rude to themselves. When they're alone, their thoughts are of ones of taking things, And so man must see that he must be comfortable with the projection of his world in the sense that it doesn't come into a, chase or be chased dynamic. It becomes into one where all movement is being acknowledged within a present moment of being. What that means is this is the point where one human being, Mr.Within, is playfully saying to the whole human species that we are keeping the human species by agreeing to manifesting in such a way. Existential sensitivity on some level means being aware of how you are present in your plane of awareness, your plane of existence. What that means is don't just think this is the world. Become aware of how you move in it and how every movement is an alteration into something. Because consciousness, as it moves beyond the self, it's like there is a clarity, a very profound, I say empty, but it's not words, it's not definable, it's not speakable, it's just something you know? And this aspect of knowing that comes to you, you kind of feel, it's as if you have always understood the other people through understanding yourself first. What that means is you in your mind are kept as an individual, and then as this individuation are working with an individual consciousness. What that means is you probably have a name and you can use words and talk. So if you're a social being, do not just see the society, it's the social thing. Do not see that party you're going to as just as just some random thing where people, are just coming on just a, name basis. If you begin to observe your experience, simple things are energy. There's profundity. There's a reason people found the atom, because some guy was like, whoa, where's this coming from? Gosh, is there something? And he was checking in the emptiness for a box. And there have been great moments, because inspirations are found in movements that are beyond the limitation. You see? So what that means is perhaps Gandhi knew something when that moment someone came up to him, and said, Gandhi, what are you going to do? Everyone's waiting. And Gandhi's like, it hasn't come to me yet. The answer will come to me. Let me be. And Gandhi, in his meditative state, began to see what the collective experience of the world was, And so I'm sure after that it's easy, because once you go into that state of consciousness, your actions become as if they were meant to. So sometimes we don't just get adrenaline rushes just from the present moment, as if like something happening. So what that means is if a motorcycle just comes in front of me and just jumps right in front of me, out of nowhere, I will see that there will be a physical rush, but this physical rush is associated, and sometimes if you are existentially sensitive of thought, you will see when an incident happens, your memories are coming to cover you. It's as if like it's suddenly getting a bit more mysterious, but you become aware and you see that a lot of adrenaline rush and fear is how imagery in a moment of awareness has been relevant to another moment of awareness, but they never needed to, because it's an evolving process. Evolution was the freedom of the being in the sense that the world changed, because it's crazy. We look at objects and we're like, that's not changing, but the whole planet, the whole cosmos is shifting. Everything is changing, and so as cycles move, we recognize that it's man who's choosing to ride a bicycle. And so if he's going to ride a bicycle, aside from it being healthy for environment, you need to be aware of duality. In other words, you need to be aware of the wheels of separation, and to see how you are the intelligence that defines your opening of intelligence to greater intelligence. You must have your attention, and your attention includes external. So what that means is you as a being must not just externally be able to handle things and be extremely mindful to your environment, but as you externally just balance it out, then you get an immense awareness to your internal realities, for the external projects it. What that means is there is one thing for certain right now. I am a physical human being here. I'm here. I'm in this world, and my voice is based on our technology coming to others, But the amazing phenomena is that it's given. This is my design. This is how my face looks like. This is what my eyes are seeing. This is where I'm placed. This is my positioning. It's like when you keep seeing this uniqueness, it's as if you yourself become strange. And a person who judges someone else, trust me, the guilt will develop, because your states of being see you never needed to do. Sometimes when it's suggested very gracefully and by mindful teachers that you as a student of this life, do not be harsh, do not try to take your lessons, do not think you can just get the lesson, and acknowledge greater experience, your moment of your moment of being becomes more healthy. Because you're not just a body association. What that means is it's not, see, finance and money, there's a lot of filthy connotations to it from others, but you need to see it has nothing to do with the action. What that means is that person, counting bills is just moving paper. It's just internally his experience is different, and based on how the society's developed and who he has become in society, he's receiving it. Do you see? Everything you have received from your creative step of being aware of it. What that means is awareness holds the intelligence beyond the body. But when a body tried to understand nobody, there was a word. No, you can't see it. It's as if no was the gatekeeper and the body was like, how can I not be nobody? You know? There is an absolute phenomena that occurs, guys, that kindness becomes your nature and it's extracted out of your nature. You're not trying to find this kindness that it's like the family TV show kindness, okay? This kindness is within you in the sense that how you are feeling right now, it's like it's coming from your internal reality. Do you know? A lot of human beings, even though they're adults, even though they feel they've grown up, are still working at states of consciousness that are, how do I say it? It's as if they are having childlike, their childhood is not, their memories of childhood are not being made aware of mindfully, and so any experience that comes is just bringing those shapes out, bringing that impulse into manifestation. What that means is, when man saw, gosh, I could go everywhere around the world, but what's the point? Perhaps he just sat down and closed his eyes and realized that perhaps non-existence was the point for he who sought a destination within himself. And you and your friends and everybody you know, pretty much, and every human being you're going to talk to and you talk to, if you are angry at them, or if you're bothered by them, or if you don't like them, or if they're suggesting something, trust me, don't try to be nice to someone that is not authentically nice. Do you know? It is better to be rude, I think, than to lie in some kind of like acting manner, you know? And just in human communication, once we allow ourselves to receive, it's like you are letting yourself understand what that person has to say. And then you see, okay, because his imagery of life and my imagery of life have certain similarities there, I understand this person, and you can be more kind. Do you know? And of course, guys, I'm trying to utilize metaphors to simply just suggest how within you naturally there's no reason to have reason, but man is being reasonable. And because he's being reasonable, it is very important for him to become aware of the quality of his experience, because it's not just about how you are physically placed here, it's also about how you are aware of how you are physically placed here. And that awareness is the vastness in dimensions where there are states of consciousness. And states of consciousness means states where experience is learning from experience by dissolving into the next experience. And trust me, as you go into this depth, you immediately are found in places where the intelligence is different. What that means is that kid who got lost in the mall perhaps when he was young suddenly looked around and saw his it's as if he was in a new world. And when you're in a new world, you must have an ability to confront where you have come to. And so I pretty much went back to the lost designation spot my parents had agreed. But in a sense, guys, pretty much I'm suggesting as you move through this life and as you're transitioning through physicality, the change in your environment is a change in how your mind will perceive itself. And if you also become very still, you become aware of all these movements that are suggesting who you are or who you have to be or how you are suffering or how you're not suffering. You must become so existentially sensitive that you see the minute you're asking a question, it's as if like that silence, you're going into a realm of thought which is more solid than it has to be. I mean, certain schools, you could even say they're schools of silence, where beings understood that it was not about their voice, but the voice of the present of the human being and of human beings together. You do not understand. Human communication is a great phenomenon. And the act of human creation is even a greater phenomena, but it is a phenomena where it's as if the people creating the child are going to a selfless state to then receive the new novelty of a new self, of a new being. In other words, we must have the ability to some level be able to perceive things clearly, and on some level allow ourselves to recognize that our clarity, its limit is just what we are perceiving in the moment. For the moment is experientially always present, you know. What that means is mankind might not be seeing it, but in this world, continuity has been his companion. It's everywhere. Continuation. I want to continue in this way. I want to continue in this. But you must pause life to understand how your continuation is completed. And so, what Mr. Within will say to end off: before developing kindness through understanding, is man ready for his greater experience? For kindness is just the tip of the iceberg. Is man ready? Is man ready for his greater experience? For kindness is just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. You are existentially compassionate, you are existentially kind. Feel the energy. This energy is based on your consideration, can be understood more through shape or through shapeless observance. Choose well, choose with the wellness of the world around you as well. That means trust your moment of being, and all shall be trusted. Much blessings and namaste.